Picture this. You are at a restaurant, you order a nice house salad, and the waiter sets it down right in front of you.
Right.
And sitting right there on top, scattered across the greens, are those three thin, translucent, red skin, white fleshed slices. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The radish.
Oh, yeah. The classic garnish.
Exactly. And most of us just push them right to the side of the plate without, a second thought. We view them as this decorative afterthought.
Yep.
Just a minor player in the produce aisle designed to add a pop of color and maybe like a bit of texture before we get to the real meal. But today we are embarking on a deep dive into this fascinating stack of research notes and scripts to completely rewrite the narrative around this humble root.
We really are.
We are taking it from a completely ignored salad garnish to, well, its rightful place as an absolute nutritional powerhouse.
It truly is a vegetable that suffers from a pretty severe PR deficit. Because when you just push those little red slices to the side, you're actively pushing aside a member of the elite Brassicaceae family.
Which is a botanical lineage that commands a lot of respect, right? I mean, we're talking about shared DNA with the absolute heavy hitters of the health food world. Kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
Cabbage, yeah, exactly.
You're right.
When you realize the radish is an active member of that specific family, you start to understand that behind that peppery crunch lies a really dense, highly evolved concentration of sulfur compounds.
Wow.
Yeah, sulfur compounds, potent antioxidants, and metabolic protectors. I mean, the modern nutrition science community is really only just beginning to fully appreciate the complex biological mechanisms this little root is capable of initiating in the human body.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to truly understand the science of the radish, we have to start with the physical experience of eating one. Let's talk about that signature peppery kick.
Oh, right, the spice.
Yeah, that sharp sting on the tongue.
Yeah.
Why do radishes have that spicy bite to begin with?
Well, to understand the spice, you have to look at it from the plant's perspective. It is not a flavor profile developed over centuries for our culinary enjoyment.
Right.
It is, quite literally, an ancient form of biochemical warfare.
Biochemical warfare. Deployed by, like, a salad garnish.
I know, it sounds dramatic, but biologically, it is highly accurate. When a radish grows, it's a root vegetable, meaning it spends its entire developmental life submerged in soil.
Sure.
And that soil is heavily populated with pests. You've got nematodes, insects, fungi, all sorts of organisms that want to consume that nutrient-dense root before it can fully mature and reproduce.
So it has to fight back.
Exactly. To defend itself, the radish synthesizes two very specific, highly specialized components. The first is a class of sulfur-containing compounds called glucosinolates.
Glucosinolates, got it.
Right. And the second is an enzyme known as myrosinase.
Glucosinolates and myrosinase. So the radish is just sitting there in the dirt, packed full of these two chemicals.
Well, what's fascinating here is that this entire defense mechanism is completely dormant until the exact moment of an attack.
Wait, really? It's just turned off?
Yeah, totally off. The plant doesn't just leak this spicy chemical into the soil all the time. That would be a massive waste of cellular energy.
Oh, that makes sense.
Instead, the glucosinolates and the myrosinase are kept strictly separated within the plant's cellular structure. They are housed in completely different compartments.
Wow.
It is only when the radish is physically compromised, like when a nematode bites into it, or when you slice it with a chef's knife or chew it, that those cellular walls break.
I see the mechanics of this. It operates exactly like a biological glow stick.
But a glow stick, yes.
Right. With a glow stick, you have those two separate inert chemicals housed in different chambers, and absolutely nothing happens until you physically snap the plastic.
Right.
You break the barrier, the two chemicals flood together, and you instantly get that glowing reaction.
That's a perfect structural analogy, yes.
Yeah.
The mechanical act of chewing is you breaking the barrier.
Snapping the glow stick.
Exactly. When you bite into the raw radish, the cell walls rupture. The glucosinolates and the myrosinase mix together for the very first time, triggering a highly rapid chemical reaction.
And that makes the spice.
Yes. The byproduct of that instantaneous reaction is a brand new, highly volatile compound called an isothiocyanate.
So the spice we taste isn't an inherent flavor at all. It's a freshly triggered chemical weapon being manufactured, like, in real time.
Exactly. That sharp, peppery sting you feel on your tongue and in your sinuses?
Yeah.
That is the isothiocyanate being synthesized right inside your mouth. The plant is desperately trying to fend you off. It's reacting under the biological assumption that you are a soil pest trying to destroy it.
But clearly we aren't microscopic soil nematodes.
No, we are not.
I mean, we tolerate the spice, and we obviously survive eating them. So if the plant evolved this compound specifically as a toxic deterrent, what happens when those newly formed isothiocyanates actually enter the human body? Does our body fight them off?
Well, this is where the biological story flips entirely in our favor. It comes down to a concept called hormesis.
Hormesis.
Right. It's where a mild stressor actually triggers a highly beneficial response in the body. Those isothiocyanates are the exact same bioactive molecules found in broccoli and kale that longevity researchers endlessly study.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. In the human body, they act as master regulators of cellular defense. So the very weapon the plant uses to defend its own cells becomes a catalyst for defending ours.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because the research notes highlight a massive, highly specific connection between these compounds and the liver.
Yes, a massive connection.
But I want to be clear about the mechanics here for you listening. How does a chemical weapon triggered in the mouth end up assisting the liver?
It comes down to a critical physiological process known as phase 2 liver detoxification.
Phase 2, okay.
To simplify a very complex system, your liver is essentially the body's primary chemical processing plant. It deals with everything: environmental toxins, heavy metals, metabolic waste, and rogue free radicals. The liver neutralizes these threats in two main phases.
Okay, phase I and phase 2.
Exactly. Phase I uses specific enzymes to oxidize toxins, which basically prepares them for disposal. But here is the catch. Phase I can actually make some toxins temporarily more reactive and dangerous.
Wait, so phase I wakes the toxin up and makes it volatile.
Correct. Which means phase 2 is the vital cleanup crew.
Ah, I see.
Phase 2 relies on a process called conjugation. The liver attaches a water-soluble molecule to the reactive toxin, effectively neutralizing it and allowing your body to safely excrete it through urine or bile.
Before it can circulate and cause DNA damage.
Precisely. And when you ingest isothiocyanates from chewing a raw radish, those compounds travel to the liver and actively upregulate the production of those crucial phase 2 enzymes.
Okay, wait. I have to push back on this for a second. Is this a real, measurable physiological effect in humans? Or is this just something that happens in a petri dish in an isolated lab setting? I mean, am I really detoxing my liver just by eating a radish?
No, it is a highly measurable in vivo effect.
Really?
Yes, clinical studies consistently show that the presence of dietary isothiocyanates significantly increases the circulating levels of these phase 2 detoxification enzymes in human subjects. You are providing the liver with the specific biochemical signals it needs to ramp up its neutralizing capabilities.
So we aren't just passively digesting nutrients and calories. We are essentially swallowing a targeted software update that boots up our liver's natural detox machinery.
That is an excellent way to conceptualize it. That little spicy sting on your tongue is quite literally the biological notification that your cellular defense system is waking up, receiving the update, and coming online.
That reframes the entire experience of eating a salad. It is a literal chemical wake-up call for the liver.
It really is.
But let's look at the broader journey of this food. We have this amazing microscopic cellular level defense happening in the liver. But what about locally, in the gastrointestinal tract?
Oh, the gut. Yes.
Right. If it protects our cells on a molecular level, how does it physically help us process the rest of the meal we are eating?
It assists in a very profound mechanical way. Beyond the cellular detoxification pathways, radishes are an absolute biological gift for your digestive tract.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you have ever experienced that heavy, sluggish, almost immovable feeling in your gut after a large, fat-heavy meal, radishes are essentially the natural antidote.
Well, the sources specifically mention that radishes are naturally packed with active plant enzymes, and the three listed are diastase, amylase, and esterase. How do those actually function in the gut?
To understand their function, think of enzymes as specialized molecular scissors.
Scissors, okay.
Your body naturally produces its own digestive secretions to break down food, of course. But sometimes that system gets overwhelmed, especially with dense, complex meals.
Right, like after a huge steak or a bowl of pasta.
Exactly. The active plant enzymes within the raw radish act as immediate reinforcements. Diastase and amylase are highly specialized scissors that specifically target complex carbohydrates and starches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they clip those long, tangled carbohydrate chains into simple, easily absorbable sugars. And esterase, on the other hand, specializes in cleaving the lipid bonds in fats, making heavy triglycerides much easier for your intestines to process.
So instead of your body having to manufacture all the scissors from scratch, the radish is providing a massive influx of them.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, eating a raw radish alongside a heavy meal is functionally like consuming the food and the exact digestive tools required to dismantle that food simultaneously.
It is exactly like hiring a built-in sous chef for your stomach to handle all the heavy lifting and prep work.
Yes, that's
Well,
brilliant.
when you lay out the mechanics like that, it really makes you question why society leans so heavily on expensive, synthetic, over-the-counter digestive enzyme supplements when you can literally just eat a radish. It performs the exact same mechanical job, naturally and cheaply.
And its gastrointestinal benefits don't stop with just the enzymatic activity either. Radishes are also structurally rich in dietary fiber, which is crucial for optimal gut motility.
So they keep things moving.
They physically add bulk to the digestive tract, which keeps food moving at a healthy pace. Furthermore, they possess significant natural diuretic properties due to their specific mineral composition and high water content.
Meaning they actively assist with fluid balance and retention.
Exactly. They promote urine production, which helps maintain proper fluid balance in the tissue. This prevents that waterlogged, bloated feeling, and it continuously flushes the kidneys and urinary tract, keeping those filtration systems clear and highly efficient.
That's incredible. And we absolutely have to talk about the macronutrient profile because for anyone listening who likes to snack or struggles with portion control, this is the holy grail of high-volume eating.
Oh, absolutely. The macros are wild.
One full cup of sliced radishes contains roughly 19 calories. Just 19.
It's basically nothing.
It contains 0 fat and less than 4 grams of carbohydrates.
It is the ultimate high-volume, low-impact food. The caloric density is incredibly low, but the physical satiety is high.
You can sit there and crunch away to your heart's content. You get the physical, psychological satisfaction of eating something highly textured and crunchy. But because of that macro profile, it causes virtually 0 spikes to your blood sugar.
Exactly.
You maintain complete glycemic stability. All right, so the nutrients have done their work in the gut, they've supported the liver, and now they are being absorbed to the intestinal wall and into the bloodstream. Let's move to the cardiovascular system.
Okay, the heart.
How do the compounds in the spicy little root interact with the heart and the blood vessels?
Well, despite their small size, radishes deliver a very powerful, concentrated dose of vitamin C directly into the bloodstream.
Vitamin C?
And in the context of cardiovascular health, vitamin C acts as a critical water-soluble shield.
A shield. How so?
As it circulates, it actively scavenges free radicals, protecting the delicate endothelial lining, which is the inner walls of your arteries, from oxidative damage and microscopic tearing.
So it is essentially maintaining the structural integrity of the blood vessels, keeping them protected from the daily wear and tear of circulating blood.
Precisely. But the cardiovascular mechanisms go much deeper and get much more complex than just vitamin C.
Oh, there's more.
Yes. Radishes, like many root vegetables, are a fantastic natural source of dietary nitrates.
Now, I want to clarify this for the listener, because when people hear the word nitrates, the immediate association is usually highly processed meats. You know, hot dogs, deli meats, bacon, which rightfully get a terrible rap in the health community.
Right.
The dietary nitrates from whole plants are fundamentally different, right?
They're biologically entirely different. The compounds in processed meats are often synthetic nitrites that can form harmful nitrosamines.
Okay, so that's the bad stuff.
Yeah. But dietary nitrates naturally occurring in a whole plant matrix like a radish are profoundly beneficial, and the way our body processes them is just a marvel of evolutionary symbiosis. When you consume dietary nitrates from a radish, a fascinating biological handoff occurs, and it actually starts the moment the food enters your mouth.
Wait, the cardiovascular benefit starts in the mouth?
Yes.
That's wild.
When you chew the radish, your oral microbiome, the vast, complex community of bacteria living on your tongue and teeth, goes to work.
The bacteria in our mouth.
Exactly. Human cells actually lack the specific enzymes required to process these plant nitrates.
Wait, really? We can't do it ourselves?
No. We rely entirely on the bacteria in our mouths to take those dietary nitrates, which are NO3, and chemically reduce them into nitrite, or NO2.
Ah.
Then when you swallow, those nitrites hit the acidic environment of your stomach and are further converted into a molecule called nitric oxide, which then enters the bloodstream.
And nitric oxide is the ultimate signaling molecule for the cardiovascular system.
It is arguably the most crucial signaling molecule for vascular health, yes. Nitric oxide travels through your circulatory system and communicates directly with the smooth muscle tissue surrounding your blood vessels, instructing them to relax and dilate.
It tells them to open up.
Right. This physiological widening of the vessels allows blood to flow much more freely with less resistance, which is the foundational mechanism for maintaining healthy, flexible, and low blood pressure.
So you have this incredible two-pronged defense mechanism happening simultaneously.
Yes, exactly.
The vitamin C is acting as the structural shield, protecting the walls of the arteries from oxidative damage, while the bacterially generated nitric oxide is keeping those same arteries relaxed, flexible, and wide open. They work in perfect biological synergy.
It is a remarkably elegant system. But regarding where these specific nutrients are concentrated, there is a major twist in the research.
Oh, a twist. Let's hear it.
When most people buy radishes at a standard grocery store, they only buy the root, the red bulb. They usually buy them pre-trimmed, sealed in little plastic bags.
Right, the tops are already completely chopped off and discarded before they even hit the shelf.
This raises an important question. Why has our modern food system normalized chopping off and throwing away the most nutrient-dense part of the vegetable?
Wait, the tops are the most nutrient-dense part.
Yes, because those leafy green tops that grow above the soil, they are fully edible. And biochemically, they actually contain significantly higher concentrations of vitamin C, calcium, and iron than the red root itself.
Are you serious? That is a staggering oversight. We've essentially normalized throwing away the most valuable, nutrient-dense part of the plant just for the sake of aesthetic packaging and convenience.
Pretty much.
We're paying for the whole plant, tossing the most potent part in the compost bin, and eating the secondary root. It's like buying a lottery ticket, throwing away the winning numbers and keeping the receipt.
We really have engineered the nutrition right out of the purchase. The greens are essentially a zero-cost, highly potent bonus superfood that comes attached to the radish, provided you buy them whole.
Okay, so if we take this advice, we skip the plastic bags, and we buy a whole bunch with the leafy tops still firmly attached, how do we practically prepare the greens? Because I imagine they aren't quite like a standard butter lettuce.
No, they aren't. You certainly can eat them raw, but they do have a slightly fuzzy, rough texture that some people find unpalatable in a raw salad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound super appetizing raw.
From a culinary perspective, the best preparation tip is to treat them exactly like you would treat a hearty green like spinach or Swiss chard.
Oh, okay.
Give them a quick sauté in a hot pan with a little olive oil and some minced garlic.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It is. The heat breaks down that fuzzy texture immediately. They wilt down beautifully, and they transform into a fantastic, highly nutrient-dense side dish.
I love that. You buy a garnish and you get a free iron-packed side dish out of the deal.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? Let's synthesize all of this complex biology into actionable steps for you listening right now. How can you immediately apply this knowledge the next time you are navigating the produce section?
Well, first things first.
Right. First, look past the giant, expensive plastic clamshells of basic, watery, leafy greens. Seek out a crisp, whole bunch of radishes with those vibrant green tops still attached.
And remember, you don't have to force yourself to eat the root raw if you genuinely do not enjoy that intense, peppery chemical trigger.
Right. The research provides some excellent culinary workarounds. If you want the maximum enzymatic benefit and that massive spike in phase 2 liver detoxing isothiocyanates, you do need to slice them and eat them raw in salads.
Yes, the glow stick has to snap.
Exactly. But if you want to switch it up and mute the spice, you can quick pickle them. Just slice them thin, toss them in a jar with some water, vinegar, and a pinch of salt, and let them sit. They become bright, tangy, and are absolutely incredible on fish tacos.
Oh, definitely.
Or, my personal favorite method, you can roast them whole. Just toss the bulbs with some olive oil and coarse sea salt and put them in a hot oven.
Which fundamentally changes the chemistry. The high heat of the oven permanently denatures the myrosinase enzyme.
Exactly. You destroy the biological glow stick before it can be snapped.
Yep.
The biochemical warfare is completely deactivated. The spice vanishes, and the radish mellows out into this incredibly tender, sweet, earthy treat that tastes almost like a roasted potato, but with a fraction of the carbohydrates.
It really is a game changer. Treating this humble, overlooked root with a bit of culinary respect is a remarkably cheap, a highly accessible way to fundamentally thank your liver, your gut, and your cardiovascular system.
Seriously.
It really is one of the most efficient nutritional investments you can make. But, before we officially wrap up this deep dive, I do want to circle back to something we touched on earlier regarding the cardiovascular system.
Oh, okay.
Because there is one final, rather provocative biological concept here that is absolutely worth mulling over.
Lay it on us. What did we miss?
We established very clearly that your body absolutely relies on the specific ecosystem of your oral microbiome, the bacteria living in your mouth, to convert the radishes' dietary nitrates into the nitrites that eventually become heart-protecting nitric oxide.
Right, the biological handoff.
Exactly. That vital chemical handoff happens strictly in the mouth, facilitated by bacteria.
Yeah.
So if we entirely rely on those specific bacterial strains to unlock the vascular benefits of these vegetables, it begs a rather unsettling question.
Uh-oh.
Does our modern daily obsession with using harsh, alcohol-based, broad-spectrum bacteria-killing mouthwashes every single morning actually sabotage our own heart health?
Oh, my God.
By striving for absolute oral sterility, are we inadvertently breaking the exact biological conversion process that keeps our blood vessels flexible and our blood pressure low?
Oh, wow. That is a brilliant and honestly slightly terrifying point.
It makes you think.
It really does. If you chemically nuke the bacterial ecosystem in your mouth every morning, there is nothing left to process the dietary nitrates when you eat lunch.
Nope.
The handoff never happens, and your blood vessels never get the signal to relax. You could literally be ruining the cardiovascular benefits of your healthy salad while you stand at the sink brushing your teeth.
It is entirely possible.
That is a wild connection, and that is definitely going to stick with me. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
And to you listening, stay curious, keep questioning the mechanics of your daily routines, and I promise you're going to look at that next restaurant salad in a whole new light. Never push those 3 translucent slices to the side again. See you next time.